The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 2 major helmet redesigns since the beginning of the Super Bowl era. We're going to go over all of those designs and the little changes they've made along the way. And there's been some, I would consider them, I guess, significant little changes.
Yeah, we can do a quick overview and then dive into each one a little bit more.
Let's get into the little things of how the Steelers started, because there's really a lot of interesting things in here. And we're going to have a new word for everybody by the end of this video that they're going to, I mean, you're going to love.
You're going to love this word.
You're going to love this word, so stick around for that. So the helmet that they wore when the Super Bowl era started was this black helmet, yellow stripe, big, nice big white numbers on the front, gray face mask, and then their logo just on one side of the helmet. And they wore that up until 1976, and they switched the face mask from gray to black. Nothing else changed. And Steve, this is one case where I'm okay with a gray face mask.
Yeah, oddly enough, I agree with that, even though the gray is usually pretty boring.
The reason I'm okay with the gray face mask for the Steelers is because there is gray in the decal. So I'm okay with gray when you're matching it to something that's in the helmet design. I just don't like gray, i.e. New York Giants, when there's no gray anywhere else. I don't know, the pants don't count.
No, I agree, it drives me nuts.
So, Steve, you like the big numbers.
I do like the big numbers. Yes.
How would you feel if they took those numbers off?
Well, I've seen them take it off, right? And it just doesn't feel right.
I concur.
Yeah.
I think it's weird, and they still do it to this day. In some preseason games, the Steelers just take the numbers off the helmet.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
No.
Some of them.
Most, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's really reasons behind this, but if you know the reason, please let us know. Why are the numbers taken off the helmet sometimes during preseason games? I'm fascinated to find out. In 1977 until present, that's been the design. That's it. The only times we've seen any tweaks since then is in 1994. They wore an all black helmet, no stripe, no logo on the side, and that was their 94 special. It was basically the throwback helmet. A lot of teams that year for the NFL 75th anniversary, and they wore it in 2 games. And then in some games between 2007 and 2010, they went completely different, and they wore a yellow helmet with a black stripe and black face mask, which is a design that I kind of like a lot because black and yellow just go great together. But Steve, let's get into the logo.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here, and to me this is probably the most interesting of all NFL teams. So first off, they wear it only on one side of the helmet.
Why, Steve?
Because genuinely they weren't sure if they were even going to like the logo, so they tried it out on one side. They wound up sticking with it. It used to just say Steel, and those little diamonds that you see, Jay, why don't you hit them off with this word?
Steve, hypocloids.
Yeah, I mean, you knew that, right?
The cool word to say, makes you feel smart. So the diamonds in the logo are called hypocloids. I guess you could have more than 3.
You could. Yeah, these 3 in particular represent the 3 main materials to make steel.
Yes, and when the logo was being created for the Steelers, they basically borrowed it from the American Iron and Steel Institute's logo, which is the exact same logo, except it says steel, and the red hypocloid for them was orange.
Yeah, and good swap making it into red. I don't know, it just looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know, it's a really fun fact. Pittsburgh, super blue collar, you know, iron workers, steel workers, that industry was trying to be booming at the time. And who knew that a material man-made would turn into one of the most winning teams ever when it comes to Super Bowls?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quote-unquote hard material, and this was a hard team with hard fans.
Yeah, and you can get into the steel curtain and all the things that were the Steelers, but I just find that so great, and I can appreciate that logo even a little bit more than I used to.
And I want to talk about some things that I really like about the Steelers, just their whole look, but their uniform design specifically, and it really starts with this insanely high gloss black paint job. Looks fantastic.
It's beautiful. Like I say, I mean, the color black would call this black. This thing is jet black, high gloss. It's awesome.
It looks wet.
It does.
Like it just got like a car that just got waxed.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool.
And you've got all the colors in it, the yellow, the red, the blue in the logo, along with white and gray. So there's so much that you can do with that. You know, they just peeled the yellow out and did a yellow stripe. I don't see why you couldn't do a red stripe. or a blue stripe.
Yeah, you could have a lot of fun with this. And speaking of yellow, we should probably dig into those yellow helmets, because what happened there? I mean, that is a major change for only a few years on and off. What are your thoughts on that?
So Steve, pre-Super Bowl era, back in the 50s and early 60s, they wore yellow helmets. And so these are basically just throwback helmets to that time. So I will bet that we will see those yellow helmets again. And we talk about our favorite helmet, our least favorite helmet for that team. I love the yellow, but I think what they're using it right now with this gloss black, it's my favorite of the two. How's that? But I think it's a close second.
Yeah, I would agree. Although, man, I'm curious what those yellow helmets are going to look like on these really current designs. So now I have to agree the current design is.
But I want to know what you guys think. If you're Steeler fans out there, which helmet is your favorite and what would you do different? What do you want to see different? I think a lot of Steelers fans, they don't want to see anything different. Oh, Steve, by the way, don't forget to tell the folks about all the other videos we've got.
That's right. This one is for the Steelers fans. However, we have all 31 other teams in the playlist, so go find your favorite team.
Yeah,